Yeah, fellas, I'm back. I'm on my forum. This was posted yesterday. Now, this brother is going to talk about the year that he's been on my site and what's happened to him. He writes, "It's been about a year since I joined ZenMac, and looking back, I've made some serious improvements in my life. When I first found Player Supreme, it was from his YouTube videos, and almost immediately joined the forum just to try it out and see what it was about. I didn't really participate very much for the first 3 or 4 months, and I kind of just bounced in and out throughout the year. And I attest that I've rarely seen this guy's posts until recently. He's been speaking out a little bit more recently. He goes, I did, however, continue to work on myself and improve myself in every aspect that I could. A year ago, I was pretty much a train wreck because I was afraid of a lot of shit, and mainly I lacked self-confidence and self-control. I was jacking off to porn a lot and smoking weed like 5 times a day, and the only pussy I was getting was from my ex-girlfriend who was dating someone else. Basically, I was a sorry excuse for a man. Haha. I can laugh now because I have improved so much in every aspect of my life, and I'm on the way up. It took Supreme's hard ass to whip me into shape, and I'm very grateful to him, parentheses, not trying to be a kiss ass, I just got to give credit where it's due, close parentheses. Because if it wasn't for him, it would have taken me years, if ever, to get where I am now. I really thank this brother for this testimonial. The stuff I'm learning from him and also from you guys on the forum is invaluable, and I expect to grow twice as much this year as the last because I'm going to put in much more effort and positivity. God, I love that word, effort, because that's the key right there. A lot of guys want to get some magic. As Joey and I were talking earlier today, she's saying, a lot of the guys expect some kind of magic dust, fairy dust, to come in and change them. And she was saying how, a lot of them don't want to do the hard work. And unfortunately, I don't offer instant magic cures as the PUAs do. Read my magic ebook and women will be falling all over the ground at your feet. I offer you the hard route, the real route, the time-tested route that works, which is work on yourself. Work on yourself. If you go out into the dating world and you're not getting dates, women ain't feeling you, you step into a nightclub or a bar someplace and nobody's looking, no girls want to give you eye contact. A lot of guys think, okay, well, if I try these magic lines from the pickup artist, that'll make her like me. And they go out and try that and they find out it doesn't work. Because these knuckleheads did not work on themselves. They did not back engineer what women wanted. And just show up, give them, offer them what they wanted. Basically, they want, a real man. That whole concept of protector and provider, that's really big. That's, I got to give the nerds that first started this whole PUA thing, they were looking at the sociology of it, and they're right on that one, protector and provider. That's why a lot of women like the Thug Brothers, because believe it or not, these brothers, they can protect them. Some of them may not be able to provide, but there also are thugs that do provide. There's a lot of street hustlers. That's in the African American community. Okay? Let's go back to what he's saying here, though. So, basically, I was a sorry excuse for a man. Haha. I can laugh now because I've improved so much in every aspect. I'm on the way up. And he goes on, it took, Supreme's hard ass to whip me into shape, and I'm very grateful that he's not kissing ass. Okay, we got that. Let's go down here. He writes, so if you're someone reading this who needs to pick themselves out of a rut or grow as a man, just do what Supreme says, and you will greatly improve your life in all areas. He's a brother that came in and just did exactly what I said. I was just reading one of the posts from DJ Dan, and he's the fellow that I used as the transformation from geek to a pimp in that video. He didn't like my advice. He thought it was really very harsh and very cruel when he first met me. He's now 25 years of age. He was a teenager when he first, started working with me. And This brother grew into a point where he started modeling. He had a MILF take him all over the country, all over the world. I met him from Canada on when she took him to California. I met both of them. But he did, what I suggested. He went and worked on himself. Got his body in shape. So he writes, it took Supreme's hard ass to whip me into shape. I'm very grateful, yes. And then he goes on to say that, he wants other people to, just do, basically, to greatly improve your life, just do what I tell you to do. I hate to be, like a control freak, but if you do exactly what I tell you to do, you're gonna come up in the game, because I learned the hard way in the game. Plus, I'm an African American, which made my game 10 times harder because I was hunting white women. Duh. So I really had to learn how to sell myself, basically. Be able to offer them what they wanted. It's a marketing game. All right. He writes, just don't give up and keep going through the tough times. I've learned, for me anyways, that it's in the hardest times that you can really grow and change if you put in the effort. Otherwise, you will resort to your old ways in times of hardship, and then progress is slow. That's what I learned recently. In the last year, I have quit smoking weed altogether, quit simping / putting women on a pedestal, improved my wardrobe, and got a consultation with Jovina. And her web address is howtodressformen.com. If you haven't gotten one yet, Jesus, I can't believe there's still guys out there that ain't, made that simple step for themselves. But anyway, graduated school and earned my degree, passed my board's exam first try, gained some muscle and got into shape, greatly improved my diet and started eating much, much healthier, greatly improved my confidence and self-esteem with Confidence Kicker and Prosperity Program, and also a new positive mindset. And my Prosperity Program, I gave you guys for free. It's a 30-day program. I gave it to you guys for free. Went to 2 Toastmaster meetings, will become a member when I move, improved my conversation and social skills, taught myself proficiency with handguns and the AR-15 rifle, stopped watching porn, woke up and started truth-seeking, took the red pill, fucked 2 women, gained control over acne, improved my dance skills with the dancing program that I offer, took responsibility for my life and my actions and results, in open parentheses, quit the bitch-assness, close parentheses, period. Stop talking to my ex-girlfriend. This was difficult for me because it was a quick and easy way for me to get pussy, and it was a comfort zone for me. Now that I got her out of my life completely, I will be more focused on building a fresh team. Change my negative attitude into a overall positive, optimistic, and happy one. Improved my leadership qualities and skills. Now, his areas, rooms for improvement. Only fucked 2 women. One was a one night stand, but I fucked her damn good. She had a boyfriend and was not from my area, so did not add her to my team. Once I get a starter hoe and get in the flow, I will be in good shape and my game will be there. I know it. It will. Once it gets that starter hoe, I was talking about that in my recent conference call. If the guys would just realize that you got to be in the flow to, get flow to come to you. That's why getting a starter hoe was so important. One thing stopping me from getting a starter hoe is my ego. I'm being too picky and looking for someone too attractive, I think. True. That's what stops 90% of the guys who don't have a starter hoe right now. They're being too picky. I'm starting to see what the problems are with doing this, and I just need to suck it up and get a starter hoe to get my ass back in the game. Exactly. You use her to get your energy back into the land of pussy. The land of pussy doesn't care what the pussy looks like, as long as you're getting some pussy. Like in professional sports, when they move players who have been out with a long injury down to the B League to get some experience and confidence back. Am I right? Confidence is still not where it needs to be, mainly with myself. I find that I go through phases where I will be very productive, motivated, happy, organized, confident, and positive for like 2 to 4 weeks. Then I will go back to my old ways and slip into a negative state where I don't focus on qualities and instead think about things I lack. And that just comes with time. When he's done my 30-day program, and it takes time to implement that into your life to where you actually start thinking more optimistic. I rarely think negative anymore, unless I'm thinking about dealing with the guys on the internet. That's the only negativity I got in my life is absorbing the negativity I'm getting from guys' emails and the stupid things guys do and how they don't listen, and that is my only negativity source in my life. And it comes it's through work. I call this work because it takes a lot of work to work with some people who are hard-headed. I'm thinking of a couple people right now. But he goes on, this goes on for like maybe 1 to 10 days or so. Then I get back into the good mindset. Now, what I asked him to do is look at how long his negative down states lasted before. We want to get those down states to maybe a couple of hours, then down to a couple of minutes, and you quickly start making the switch. That's the goal. You notice you're in the down state, and you work your way out of it. That's the other thing is we got to get the fellas to recognize that, okay, I'm going into a down state right now. I need to get out of it. And one thing that will help that is when you're getting pussy, fellas, when you're getting pussy, you feel good, okay? Because it's taking all that bottled up sexual energy and giving it an outlet. When it gets bottled up, it tends to bring you down. That's why a lot of guys are so driven to whack off. They have that need to get that pleasure. But when you got the proper orifice to dump your energy into, which is a woman, not a man, but a woman, that's the proper orifice. It's the way nature designed it, okay? And that's why it feels so complete. Whacking off feels empty. You guys who whack off a lot, you feel empty. It feels like, okay, you just busted that big deal, big wow. Nothing to it. Nothing occurred. There's no creativity, no interaction with a woman, no exchange of energy, no kissing. Unless you're kissing your hand, you draw a sock puppet and kiss it. Yeah. Then you draw your sock puppet mouth and you do your whack off thing into your sock or whatever. Nah, that's not the way a man's supposed to live. You guys shame yourselves living lives like that. He writes, I find that these phases come less and less often, though. Okay, that's what I was looking for. And when they do occur, it lasts for shorter periods of time than it used to. And that's what I was wanting to ask him. So it is occurring. I think drinking alcohol has a major influence on this as well as diet, because when I drink, diet and healthy eating goes out the window. So when he drinks, diet and healthy eating goes out the window. So the thing to do now is don't drink. At one period of time, I had a craving for, not Mars bars, but they were the caramel flavored, I guess maybe Mars bars or something caramel. I won't even look at them anymore. But I just had to have them all the time. And when I had them, I would slide off my diet. I couldn't diet during that time period. Or I diet real strictly, but I allow myself to have that. And that would just blow my diet. Just having those one thing of caramel. So I finally stopped myself from doing that. And I won't even look at them anymore. I realized this is an addictive habit I had. Because I have an addictive personality. I was a sexual addict. I need to have sex several times a day in order to feel balanced. That's why I had so many women. I preferred it from women, not just whacking off, but I did that also. I had the females, I had myself, and I still couldn't get enough. Had a large, very large sex drive. And what they call that, they like to call it sexual addiction. But it becomes sexual addiction when you start getting into the porn. Like porn and online porn. I was into the offline porn. That's when it became a sexual addiction. All right. He writes, also, maybe it's my brain trying to go back to my old ways, which were so deeply ingrained into my head over the last few years / my life, my entire life. I do think I am making improvements, though even in some areas, they improve slowly. Kind of a 2 steps up, 1 step down, repeat that type of thing. I will break the cycle. He says, I will break this cycle. Good point. And just keep going up and up like an escalator. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. And I know his brother's on his way. He's on his way. I don't have to worry about him. All I got to do is, when he gets a problem, he comes to me for advice, give him the advice, and he'll start to keep improving. That's it right there. He's already broke through. How about you guys? Have you broke through? Or are you still out there struggling? Still out there whacking off to internet porn? Still out there doing weed? Especially the black fellas. It's so ingrained in our culture that it's surprising when you meet a black man that does not smoke. Like the one guy they were growing weed in my backyard, Jovina's brother, a guy down the street, a local drug dealer down the street. The guy that was harvesting the stuff said he had never met a black man that didn't smoke weed. By the way, I will never let that happen again. I thought it was going to be like a couple plants. I said, okay, fine. Put him in the backyard. He had a permit for it, and it was a whole backyard full of shit. I'm glad someone broke in and stole the shit. Because I didn't want to get involved in that stuff. I don't get involved in that. It's not my thing. And I know with the damage that's done to the black community. There are black guys right now that are... They tune off the moment I start talking about this. And one day I'm hoping that they take the red pill and actually wake up. Actually wake up to see what it's actually done in their lives. So, continuing here. Still haven't been going to the clubs or hunting women very hard. I've been more focused on improving my inner game so that it's unshakable, and also I am mainly focused on getting a job right now. Once I get a job and move back out of my parents' house, move back a while I was finishing school, I will be able to focus more on my game and the action part of growing. Living at home was a huge impact on my confidence because it hangs over my head like a black cloud. I don't feel like a real man when I'm there. Exactly. The man in him has grown. Notice how that he doesn't feel good being at his parents' house? That shows that he's grown as a man. Okay? That's a perfect example that he's grown as a man. His power as a man. Plus, it's a very negative environment. The negativity is so hard to keep from seeping into my life. I know exactly what Supreme means when he says the lights in his mom's house are the dimmest on the block. Once I'm out, my game will really improve. I know it. Oh, and I'll actually have more money too. I'm looking forward to posting my successful field reports this coming year. And I'm looking forward to reading this brother's successful field report so I can continue to guide him to the type of life he should be living as a man. Now I ask you, what type of life are you living as a man? Think about that for a minute. Have you gotten the help that you needed there, fellas? Really? Or are you still just struggling, spinning your wheels, coming in, listen to my videos, hoping for some magic? And, you know, I do help a lot of people through my videos. I put them on the right path, at least. And I solve problems. You know, people write me their problems. I tell them what to do. The guys that do what I tell them to do, they improve. But have you improved your entire life? You know, that's the point. I don't want to just see you guys get some ass. If you realize how easy ass is to get, once you realize that, you realize what I'm talking about. I want you to have a life, not just get some ass. That's the easy part. But that's the part that we're all stuck at that are listening to me. You're stuck at that second chakra stuff. And as I said in my conference call, Phil asked me when will my chakra product be ready. And I've got some other stuff on the table before that. We got to help guys with their fear. Then I got to finish my Kindle book. And then I can work on that. So that should be sometime probably around late May or June before that stuff gets done. Also, I got to do a lot of research. And I got to build the actual meditation programs to work on your chakras. They don't just, create themselves. So anyway, getting back on point, I'm really pleased at the brother's progress. Because I do remember when he came in, I questioned about his screen name. I didn't like his screen name. And I've quit complaining about people's screen names, how they want to call themselves. But if you look at your screen name really is coming from your subconscious mind. It's how you feel about yourself for a lot of people. And a lot of people choose these, weird screen names. Deathbringer. These are like little nerds that, watch too many gamer stuff. They envision themselves as being the bringer of death or some big badass when they're really not. They're some little geek. Big nose geeks. But really be careful of how you name yourself. Like there's one guy that calls himself Scat something or another that watch my videos. It's basically shit. Scat boy or something like that. Shit boy. And that reminds me when I was on the Pimps Network, there was a guy that I talked to that I quit talking to. Because it turned out the guy was into some sexual shit and this shitting on this white guy. Actually taking a dump on him. And the white guy loved it. It just weird people out there. And this was a mixed brother that was doing this. I guess he had some shit going on in his life, being half black, half white, and I guess he's shitting on his white side by doing that or something. I don't know. I can't figure. I don't even want to waste my time figuring people like that out. But when we're broke, we got to recognize we got to fix ourselves. If your life isn't running the way you want it to, then there's something wrong. Let's get in there and figure out what it is, fix it, then move forward so you can have a successful life. I don't want to see you guys be these 40-year-old people pissed off and angry. There's a guy on here, this new troll has been mentioning his name, but I'm going to leave him nameless. We know who he is, though. He runs a group of people that have just totally given up on the dating scene. I don't want to see you guys become like him. Old and bitter. I'm actually older than he is. Because of his drinking, he looks a lot older. But I don't want to see you guys end up like that. Or like any of his people. Just totally giving up on life. Totally just not able to focus your balls into being men. Instead, you just run and cower. And I know in my market, I'm dealing with the weakest males on the planet because that's why you're having problems. Because your energy as males is so weak. Let's be honest. Okay? So I'm dealing with the weakest males on the planet. Of course, a lot of you weak males, you want to use like Prozac and use all these kind of drugs. I want to get you guys off that stuff and get you to recognize your true strength and power as men. Okay? So society has ripped your balls out and made you into these weak motherfuckers. I want to give your balls back to you and make you strong motherfuckers. And it doesn't come through magic. It doesn't come through well-wishing. It doesn't come through reading a magic ebook. It comes through learning. All the books I put out are tools to learn from. It doesn't solve instant problems. It gives you the tools you need to grow. That's what I put out. Like my current how to make a woman come stuff. I give you exercise in there so that you grow. And I hope every one of you guys are doing those exercises because that's how I grew myself. The only thing is that few people will actually do the whole program. Most will just do a portion of it and take some techniques and they're fucking the shit out of women now. They're taking my sex techniques, fucking the shit out of girls, but they're not doing the whole thing. They're doing the exercise where they got to learn to control their orgasm and stuff, which may be a good thing too, but whatever. I prefer you guys get the whole thing and get the complete growth. If you want to step down the path I've been on and have power in your dating life, then you want to get the whole thing. That's the point. My suggestion to the brother that wrote this is keep doing what you're doing. Still date now. Okay, so you can still go to the clubs. You got the dance skills. Let's stop cowering behind mommy skirts. I know my words can be harsh. Stop cowering behind mommy skirts. Get to the nightclubs. Yes, you can still go to nightclubs. You got a job now. You passed your courses. You got to get out there. You're hiding. Time not to hide anymore. Your man inside is getting upset. That's why this post is here. Your power as a man has grown. You can't be in your mama's house and your parents' house and to be a powerful man. So it's time to save your money up, get your own pad, make sure you have your own ride, get your life in order. But while you're doing it, you can still have a woman. You can still have a woman still living at home. believe it or not. As my son Tracy has shown. He had all kind of women he's running. Still living with his mama. Okay? So don't let that be the stopper. Don't let that be another mountain in your path when it's really just a molehill to step over. That's the problem a lot of males have in this community because of the weakness of the man juice you guys have. You see these molehills as these mountains instead. But when you grow your balls, your power as a man, they don't become mountains. They become molehills you step the fuck over or you kick out your way and do it anyway. Like fear. False evidence appearing real. Another fellow said a really good one. False emotions appearing real. I like what that brother wrote on the video blog. False emotions appearing real. That is so true. False emotions. The fear product is coming. I'm still working on it. I want it to be good. I want to help you guys deal with your fear. It may not be the ultimate end all for fear, but I want it to do the best I can at helping you guys handle your fear. Okay? Until next time, fellows.